I was in high school, university, I wanted to take business because I wanted to make lots of money. And after graduating university, everyone's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to make lots of money. And here in Alberta, where do you go? If you want to make lots of money, you go into oil and gas. So that's what I did. And I did that for about 2-3 years. Hated my life. It was making lots of money, but absolutely was miserable. And finally, until one day, my boss's boss comes in. And I'm like, oh, Jack, you never come over. And he's like, hey, Connor, can I have a meeting with you? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I've been waiting for you to meet with me. Yeah, this job sucks. I want to make more money. And he says, come on in, step in, and we have a little meeting. And I got my, I'm sitting down there, and I got a little notebook. I'm going, so Jack, what are we going to talk about? Waiting the date meeting with Jack Star. And he's like, hey, Connor, you're great. Times are tough. Gotta let you go. And my whole world was kind of flipped upside down. Because here I was on this trajectory, making lots of money, working on oil and gas. Yeah, life sucks, but I was going to make lots of money, so that was going to be great. And then all of a sudden, this boss who I never even met before, and he just comes in and, yeah, price of oil, nothing we can do, everyone's getting laid off. And my whole life was turned upside down, and I go, okay, well, where do I go from here? How do I build myself back up? What the heck do I even want to do? I tried to make money, it wasn't for me. And so I did what anyone does when they don't know what to do. I moved to Sweden. Right? Because why not? In all honesty, and I haven't really told anyone this before, I was like, hey, I'll just go back to school, whatever. I'll go get more business education, more business stuff. And so I thought, I'll go get an MBA. MBA makes you sound smart, 3 letters, then the real money will start rolling in. Right? That's what you do. So I Google search, how to get an MBA. And they're like, oh, you got to write this thing called a GMAT. I was like, cool, no problem. And they're like, it's 2 years, and I was looking at the University of Calgary, $75,000 for an MBA. I was like, you gotta spend money to make money, I guess. And so I Google searched GMAT, I bought the book. I went to the library, I'm laid off, got all the time in the world, and so I opened the GMAT book. That's not for me. And so I went back to the old Google machine, and I found a school in Sweden. Now, if you couldn't tell, my parents are from Ireland. Couldn't tell from my lovely ginger beard. So that means I'm a dual citizen. That means I'm a dual citizen with Canada, but Ireland, which is in the EU. So I found a school in Sweden that offered an MBA in 1 year. And the best part, it was all for free. So I was like, well, I gotta spend no money to make money, I guess. And so I was like, see you in Calgary, see you oil and gas, I'm moving to Sweden. So I packed up, moved to Sweden, and my wife and there, we were studying, and it was great, but we lived in this tiny little Swedish apartment, right? It was actually a carriage house, if you can imagine, on like the front lawn of this retired Swedish doctor's house. The doctor didn't speak any English, and we were living in this teeny tiny house, and it was so small that I could turn off the kitchen sink from bed. And we had this teeny tiny washing machine that was in our shower, believe it or not. Like picture a Swedish washing machine. And so this thing was a Tasmanian devil of a washing machine. Every time you do a load of laundry, you gotta, it was just a wrestling match between this laundry machine. It would jump, it would dance all around the bathroom. My wife would be like, we gotta do laundry. And we would hop on this thing and beat it, kick it, and the laundry was just a mess. And so one day I came home and I was like, listen, I think I want to become an entrepreneur. She's like, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? And I was like, well, my parents, who, as you remember from my lovely ginger beard, are from Ireland, and they immigrated here, no education, they both worked 3 jobs, they had no money, and they spent a lot of their time trying to fulfill their dream, which was to do what all Irish people do when they move to Canada, open an Irish pub. And so they did that, and growing up, I worked in this Irish pub, and that's really where I got the idea to make all this money, because I was bartending, and I saw all these rich guys in suits come in, and they're drinking all afternoon, and they're like, we're going to play golf. I'm like, what do you do? They're like, oil and gas. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. But I saw my parents, more importantly, they built this business from scratch, nothing, by themselves, with just their wit, a bit of charm, and just a wee bit of that Irish luck. And I worked in there, and I saw how they were able to build a life for themselves, not only for themselves, but more importantly, they were able to build a life for the community. They used this business as a way to give back to the community. Whether that was my mom coordinating stuff with her ladies' church group, giving food away for free, or more